Welcome to the Interlocking Loops Flosstube video. It's September 17th, 2019. Well, welcome one and all for another episode. There's been some stitching going on since we talked last. I've been fairly monogamous with my stitching, however. Cinnamon Stars by Plum Street Sampler has been on my mind. Isn't that pretty? So I'm doing that all in DMC in an ivory Aida that I think is 14 count. So for me it's a fairly sizable project. I don't have it all finished, but I've made a lot of headway. I have changed a little bit of the colors and some of the motifs to brighten them up just a little bit, but with some of the called for colors. I have a section down here at the corner to finish, and then I will have it done. Yay! It's coming along really well though. A nice fall look. So that's been where most of my stitchy time has been spent. It's one of my Stitch 9 that I have almost completed, so I'm really excited about that. So that's been to the top of my pile. I will have to say it's been slightly more difficult with a new kitten in the house trying to get any stitching done. My husband's been trying to keep the kitten occupied, not only while we do the floss tube, but while I try to do some stitching. So with that in mind, that's where my stitching time has gone instead of any other project, we'll go on to some other things that are up and coming, shall we say. I have a couple different punch needle kits. One of them is by Threads That Bind, Price Pumpkin. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. That nice pumpkin. And I have all of that. It came as a kit. I just had to add the floss. I'm doing that in DMC as well. I'm having trouble deciding which one of the fall punch needle ones I would like to start, but I've got them all set together, so all I need to do is pick one. The next one I have, and I think I have all the supplies for, is on the corner of Pumpkin and Vine. Isn't that a nice pumpkin too? And that is by, let's see, www.theteacherspet.com, designed by Kathy Brown of The Teacher's Pet. The finished size is 5 by 7 inches. I really like that one. That came out of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine from the 2018 fall issue. And here's what it looks like in the front. And I believe if you subscribe, I have to check the specifics. I think you can get digital versions of the back 2 years, I think. You could find that too. Another one that's in the same book is Pumpkin Pile by Sharon Schwalbach of Yellow Dog Lane, and that's www.yellowdoglane.com. Finished size 6 by 6, and this has indeed a pumpkin pile. So currently I'm kind of leaning toward one of the first two I showed you, but time will tell which one ends up being the one I start, and hopefully I will have that started by next time we talk. So if you haven't tried punch needle, it's not real difficult. So I encourage you to maybe give that a try if you're looking to add another bit of a craft to things. I did want to talk about a few neat things that have gone on with me. I don't know whether I showed this bag before or not, by So Much to Love on Etsy. But the neat part about the bag is I showed one of the bags from her that I bought earlier this year, and I ended up winning a kind of like a gift certificate to her shop, and I purchased another one. So it'll be coming, it might be here beginning of October maybe. So it's fall themed, and I was excited to have that. I didn't expect to win anything, but it came on a day that was a good day for me to have my spirits lifted a little bit. Another fall bag that I purchased off of Etsy from Quilting Grandma Elkin. It's a nice fall bag, and from my understanding is, I think I've read or seen somewhere that this fabric is from Walmart. So it's pretty fall fabric. I just love this blue and this magenta. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about other acquisitions. As you know, I've talked a little bit about gathering up the Glitter House series of patterns. I have the first one. I'm still thinking I may do them all as one big, or I may do rows of 3 to have 3 narrow ones. I have Glitter House 2 that I purchased. And of course these are by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I have Glitter House 3 as well. I know they have a new series that's out that's kind of a snow theme. But last winter, my mom, my daughter, and I kind of got into the Glitter House thing. And I guess I still have a little bit of that going on. I also couldn't hardly wait to get a couple other patterns. The Hands-On Design Autumn Skies. Okay, that's going to glare too much. Let's take it out. I even have the floss for it already. I have an idea about how I'd like to fully finish it. Yes, you heard it here. I have an idea how I'd like to fully finish something. I love these colors that she chose. Check that out. Here's a nice little pillow. And then this one down here with a pile of pumpkins. Oh. So those are by Hands-On Design. So I'm pretty good at stitching things during the season it's in. Not so good at stitching things out of season. So hopefully I will get that started here coming up with fall. As soon as I get Cinema Stars done, that baby's next. But I also purchased from Little House Needleworks a couple of the ABC patterns. I bought Autumn ABCs. It's a narrow, long one. And then I purchased Spring ABCs. I already bought the summer, and I can't remember who I bought that from, but I think I talked about that a little bit last episode. So here's spring, and they've got little bunnies, a little robin. So that'll be something maybe I can rotate when I display that. And my very favorite one of all is the winter ABCs. So that may be something I start this winter when it's cold. It's been crazy hot here, way above normal. They say 15 degrees or more above normal. The heat index today was, I think, 96. Normally supposed to be like 75, so it's kind of crazy. It's hard on, I think it's hard on me because I don't like hot weather to begin with. But we're in the middle of having lambs right now, and it's tough on my girls that are lambing. We'll maybe talk a little bit more about those in a little bit. The Floss Fix has arrived. It has the September. It's got the greens, weeping willow, bean sprout, spinach, steamed broccoli, pine needles, and English ivy. And let me hold this up against something that's light colored. Maybe this will do the trick. All those pretty greens. So let's continue the start of my collection. And I'm pretty sure you can still get in on this club over at Fat Quarter Shop. So if you want to check that out. And they have really fast shipping from what I've experienced. Another thing I wanted to talk about, which has been exciting. What Farm Girl Loves Goats. Michelle had one of her goats that was ill, and I'm not happy about that because I understand how painful that can be and how difficult. But she put up some things for sale, and I was able to buy my unicorn chart I'd been wanting from Dimensions, the Scenic Farm. Yay, I've got it. So the next thing is I'll have to come up with something else I'd like to have. And I'll tell you what that might be. This whole Sampler Sunday thing, Sampler September thing, it's got me looking at some of the samplers, albeit I'm looking for something that's on the small side, but pretty colorful, not quite so primitive as some of them. But that's kind of what's got me excited about that. So, who knows? That might be the next thing. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some of my other crafting that I've been working on, as what's been exciting and with a time constraint in mind as well. Balancing the Cinnamon Stars cross stitch with the Soldotna crop sweater by Caitlin Hunter. I don't know, I may have shown this last time. It's actually going to be for my daughter. And I'm wanting to, it's short sleeved, cropped, as the name says. I'm hoping to get it finished so she'll be able to wear it during the fall cooler time. You start from the top and go down. I'm just about to the point I can divide for the sleeves. Let's knit on one long circular needle. I like those colors, so she does too, so that's a win-win. So next time you see it, hopefully I'll have the sleeves done and be working on the body, and then that's going to go really fast. That yarn I bought at websyarn.com is Plymouth Select by Plymouth Yarns DK Merino Superwash. It's 100% superwash fine merino wool. Let's see, 50 grams, approximately 130 yards. So I can tell you the colors if you'd like to know. Let's see, Peapod is the green, and it's a nice green if you like green. Pretty accurate with the name. Let's see, there's Wisteria, and it is the dark purple. Then the lavender is the light purple. So I'll put the dark and light side by side so you can kind of see there's quite a bit of difference there. And then the last one is called white, although I guess it looks pretty white there, but it's slightly off white, I would say. So that's coming along well, and I'm excited to get that done for her. So when I started knitting, it was all about utilitarian things, socks and washcloths. Then it was the starting of a few gifts, more socks, more shawls, cowls, hats. To now it's quite a bit of the urge to knit for other people. So kind of interesting how we evolve. And a lot of those hats and things are just patterns I want to try to make. I've tried to find outdoorsy looking things with tree motifs and mountains and things like that for my son. And my daughters liked a variety of things. They were both into Doctor Who for a little while, and my son has a Doctor Who hat. It's got a TARDIS design on it. So, all right, let's see. Things that have been going on. So we've had lambs. I I have 3 more girls yet to have babies, and I actually have a barn cam on that I'm able to watch. I took some vacation days, and today was actually my first day back to work, and did it feel like I hadn't been at work in a while. Kind of a difficult re-entry, but I've got one little one. Mom doesn't have a lot of milk. She's taking care of one, and I'm trying to help take care of the other one. So we've got it on a bottle, and it's kind of learning how to do that, and it's going okay. There's a big learning curve for these little ones, but we pay particular attention to the color genetics, and we've seen some color patterns that are recessive that are coming out in some of the lambs that we have this year that we have not seen before, which is kind of exciting. So yeah, that's kind of fun. I still have 3 more I think are gonna lamb, so I'm hoping to see what babies they have, and I'm excited about that. But like I said, it's been really hot here, and I think maybe the last 3 are waiting for it to be a little bit cooler. So this is the first time. They have all had lambs before with another producer, the guy I bought them from. They haven't had babies here before, but I know they've all raised lambs, so that's a little bit less of a headache and worry for me. But until I know exactly what kind of moms they are, I worry a little bit, you know. But that's been exciting. We've got some stuff out of the garden. I've picked some apples off the apple trees, got some apples from a friend of mine, a coworker, and I've been trying to can some apple pie filling. I've never done that. I've had crazy. The first batch I didn't pay super attention to when they say how much headspace in the jars, as those of you that have canned know. That's really pretty important. So when I opened up the hot water bath canner lid, and I see I have apples floating in the top. No, the jar didn't break. The lid popped off. Too much pressure. So that was a big sticky mess. The remaining quarts that I had in there, I took those out and set those down, and they were streaming some of the contents down the sides. That was a mess to have to clean up. But I was already too far in. I had already finished peeling and chopping enough apples for at least one more batch. Start over, clean everything out, get all the sticky out, start over with new jars, all this kind of thing, and the next batch went a lot better. I thought I'd get more done for how much time it actually took to do it. So I actually have 3 more bags of apples to go, and that's maybe 12 more quarts to go. We'll see how that goes. I hope to get some more done this coming weekend. So hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler by then, and it won't be, you know, the air conditioner won't be working quite so hard when I am going over all the steaming water. So update on the kitten. The kitten's been to the vet. The vet thinks that Pumpkin, the kitten I showed last time, is probably a little boy and will probably stay long-haired as well. He's had his first shots and things like that, and he's sleeping upside down on my husband's lap right now. So he's growing like a weed, and he goes back for the next vet appointment in just about 4 weeks. Going back to the farm, we have put a harness on the buck. Our Nubians, we have Nubian dairy goats, and our first babies will be born in about 148 days from today. So I'm excited about that. So when it comes February, I'll be taking another vacation to my vacations are a little bit more staycations to try to help out with the livestock for the most part. So that'll be fun. I look forward to those. The 2 girls will be having babies for us this next year. Have never had babies before, but I loved their moms, and I went with the newer, younger generation to get those girls started. So I'm excited about that. So I should have pretty colored babies to do that. One should have brown with a lot of white splashes. The other, she's black with white spots, but the buck she'll be bred to is brown with white spots. So who knows? She could have either or. So I'm excited. So I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. I know it's a little bit more on the ag side and a little bit less on the crafty side, but I really have been fairly monogamous. I'm trying to do with cross stitch with just the cinnamon stars, and hopefully next time I can show you it finished. So until then, happy stitching.